Hello, welcome to the Nerd Cassette podcast. My name is Gabe. This is Gato, wherever he is.
I think I'm on this side.
Thanks for joining us today. I have some questions for you, Gato. Did you hear about the news about it's Star Wars related? So this is something you'll like. But apparently, in the world of pop culture, Billie Lourd, the daughter of Carrie Fisher,
Yes.
who played Princess Leia, apparently confirmed exclusion of Carrie Fisher's siblings from the Walk of Fame event. So the Walk of Fame event is those stars that you see on Hollywood, the Walk of Fame.
Yeah.
Carrie Fisher has one, and apparently Carrie Fisher's daughter, Billie Lourd, excluded her siblings, Carrie Fisher's siblings, out of this event.
So,
stating that we have no relationship.
Oh.
Yes.
Yikes. I had not heard that before. But what is this event? Like, the event is, like, did she already have a star and then there was an event for it? Or was this an event of putting up a star?
Putting up a star, I think.
Oh.
So the claim is that one of the siblings, I forgot which one, the brother of Carrie Fisher, got the ball rolling to get the star on there. And he wasn't even invited.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of mean.
Yeah.
Was there any...
Wait till you see the reason why.
Okay, yeah, so I'm curious about this.
She says, days after my mom died, her brother and her sister chose to process their grief publicly and capitalize on my mother's death by doing multiple interviews and selling individual books for a lot of money, with my mom and my grandmother's death as the subject. Then we know Carrie Fisher's mother is Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
From Singing in the Rain. I found out they had done this through the press. They never consulted me or considered how this would affect our relationship, reads Lourd's statement. Though I recognize they have every right to do whatever they choose, their actions were very hurtful to me at the most difficult time in my life. I chose to and still choose to deal with her loss in a much different way.
That's really interesting because you think that if there's any issues within the family, that you would talk about it. I don't know. I don't know the relationship. I mean, obviously, I didn't even know this was going on. But the fact that the brother got the whole star thing started and he wasn't even invited to it. Well, I don't know, man. That's kind of harsh. Although
it gets worse.
Oh my gosh, really? Okay, go on.
So apparently, because I'm guessing this is all in part of. Well, actually, now let's hear. Is she the a-hole in this case?
Well, shoot, I don't know. That's kind of hard because, I mean, to capitalize on a sibling or mom's death, I don't know. I feel like that is morally wrong. And I mean that like as in you're just using the event as your what am I trying to say?
Launching pad?
Publicity.
Yeah.
I think there's a big difference between like, oh man, I just went through like some hard moments in my life, and like you're processing, and maybe you're all writing it down, and then at some point you release a book, right? Like the fact that they released a book based on it, I don't think that's an a-hole thing to do. But the fact that it seems that they did it so quickly after the death, and it's only been like 3, well, I guess it's been a little bit longer than that, huh?
Yeah, when I read the dates on this, I was like, what? It happened so Carrie Fisher passed at the age of 60, December 27th, 2016.
2016. Okay. Yeah. When were the books released? Because I think that matters a lot.
Okay. On June 5th, Todd Fisher published a memoir called My Girls: A Lifetime with Carrie and Debbie. June 5th, 2018.
So 2 years later.
Yep. And then Jolie Fisher published a memoir as well, growing up with Fisher, musings, memories, and misadventures in 2017.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that's a little too soon. A little too soon
Right.
for my taste. Because if my brother died, I think it would take me a whole year to like even get over it, and even that seems a little short. I know everybody processes like death differently, but I don't think I would be okay with being able to write a book and releasing it within 2 years of the death, because yeah, even that second book seems to be just a year and a half after.
Right.
So that's a little too soon, in my opinion. I mean, she's Billy is right to say, like, you know, that everybody can process death their own way, but it was hurtful, and I think she's okay. She's all right to be hurt by this. I would be
Yeah.
too if I was in her shoes. The whole
But not being invited to the event.
And when was this event? This event, I'm guessing it was soon.
I mean, this article from Hollywood Reporter was from 4 hours ago. So
Okay.
I'm guessing this event happened like over the weekend, maybe?
Okay. So this is a new. Okay. So by this
May
point,
the 4th. Actually, it's going to happen this weekend.
oh, it's happening. Okay.
Yep.
Well, considering that it's been 4, 5, 6 years since 2017, and you didn't talk to your family and resolve these issues, I would say that she's being a little bit of an a-hole. I feel like that should be enough time to confront them about it and just tell them, like, hey, what you did was kind of, you know, hurtful, and maybe talk it out. And by this point, I would hope that you're in better relations with your family, but I guess this article just says that you don't have those good relationships, and you're being petty about it.
I mean, who's to say the niece is in charge of who can attend their siblings' event, you know?
Yeah.
That's that's like having your niece telling you, "Hey, I know your brother died, but you can't go."
Yeah, no, I feel like
Right?
I'm curious.
Right?
I'm curious because I feel like as a brother, I have I don't know, actually. Cuz okay. Personally, I feel like I have more of a right to attend something related to my brother than my niece does as siblings. But then I do understand the whole. I mean, they're his kids, right? And
Yeah,
so they're like a
That's
direct
true.
connection to him. So I'm like, I don't know. So now I'm actually kind of doubting myself. Like, does my niece and nephews have a
I would
bigger?
say maybe, yeah, then.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I
I'm
don't know.
curious. You guys in watching this or listening, please comment. I am genuinely curious what you guys think. Like, who has more rights to these sorts of events in a family crisis? The siblings or the sons and daughters of the person?
Yeah.
That's an interesting question. That is unfortunate.
Yeah, there's a
Sorry.
quote from one of the siblings saying, "For some bizarre, misguided reason, our niece has chosen not to include us in this epic moment in our sister's career. This is something Carrie would have definitely wanted her siblings to be present for. The fact that her only brother and 2 sisters were intentionally and deliberately excluded is deeply shocking."
Yeah. Man, those.
So anyway, the what makes it worse is that apparently years before there was fight over the estate, and we're talking millions, $90 million, $65 million estates.
Whoa.
And so that's thrown into the mix of this problem. And so that's probably why.
Man, I am glad
That's the background.
I'm not a.
Famous person?
Yeah.
Me neither.
Seems like they deal with a lot of stuff in the finance.
Yeah. Seriously.
I'm sure they have more issues than we, the normal people, have.
I agree.
Oh man.
Yep, but that's your Star Wars news for the week.
Yeah, thank you for the update.
Um,
That's good. I'll need to be more on top of it since May the 4th is literally around the
Tomorrow.
corner. It is tomorrow.
Yes.
Today for those
Yes,
listening.
yes, man. All right. Well, should we get into it? Before we get into it, though, just a reminder: we do have our painted playlist code all the way till the end of May. Remember, the code is
Nerd
what's the
20.
code? Nerd 20.
Yeah, Nerd 20
For
for
make your purchase.
at Painted Playlist for 20% off your first order of prints. So
There we go.
check them out. They're awesome pieces. What I like to do is listen to the song as I'm looking at the painting.
That's a good idea.
20% off it's a pretty good deal for prints, and they look amazing. I'll see if I can post some pictures for those that are viewing to see what they look like as prints rather than the original painting. But yeah, don't forget, check them out. It goes until the end of the month. Thank you, Painted Playlist, for continuing to sponsor our show. That's great. But let's get into it.
All right. Number 1. So we're going to visit Am I the A-hole again? Because you guys love it so much.
Because it's amazing.
It's great.
It's so funny.
All right. This one. Am I the a-hole for yelling at a kid for crawling under my table at a restaurant? My friend Jack and I, after a long, stressful week, like to go to the local pizza place. It's not fine dining by any stretch of the imagination, but there are booths and tables of people sitting down. I see a large table near us of like 10 people, a few couples, and a bunch of small kids between like 4 and 8, and the kids are running around the restaurant being loud while the adults are drinking wine and eating pizza. I ignore the commotion for 20 minutes when suddenly I feel like a hand on my leg and one of the little kids is crawling under Jack and my table. I wasn't thinking and snapped at the kid and said, "Get away from our table." And the kid ran away and burst into tears. One of the parents at the other table came over and started tearing into me about how cranky and mean I was and how dare I yell at her kid who was just playing. Meanwhile, her and the other middle-aged 40-something parents are letting the kids run amok and be loud and obnoxious while my friend and I are trying to enjoy a night out. I ripped her a new one and said, "How entitled do you need to be to think it's okay to let your kids crawl under other people's tables?" She called me an a-hole and walked away in a huff.
That's amazing. Before I say anything, what is this? So it's a pizza place, local pizza place.
Chuck E. Cheese.
I mean, is it it's not Chuck E. Cheese, but he says that there's booths, tables, people sitting down.
Robots singing and dancing on stage, right?
It says small kids between like 4 and 8 kids are running around, but it says that the adults are drinking wine and eating pizza. Does Chuck E. Cheese sell wine with their pizzas?
No, probably not. Secret menu, maybe.
Okay, but what kind of pizzeria sells wine? I don't think I've ever been to any pizzeria.
It might be like an Olive Garden.
They don't have pizza there. And to have like, well, maybe they do. I haven't been there in a long time.
It would be an Olive Garden type of restaurant because they sell wine there, and then pizza is Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So all things considered, there's kids and there's wine. So that tells me that this is probably not a Chuck E. Cheese. So it's not meant to be a place for kids.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's wine, so I feel like it's more for relaxation. Or maybe not relaxation, but you go there to have a good time. If wine is available, I feel like it's more of an adult based location. So for these other people to allow their kids to be running around to the point where they're not paying attention to their kids and then letting them get under people's tables and stuff like that, I think the a-holes would be the parents. This guy yelling at him, what did he say? "Get away from our table." I think it's funny. I don't think he's wrong to say. I mean, maybe if he was like very angry, or if he like smacked the kid on the way out or something, then yeah, I mean, don't hit the kid. But
Yeah.
well, I don't know. If
I don't know.
okay, I don't have kids, right? If I'm eating, having a nice date with my wife, and some kid comes out of nowhere and it's like touching my leg, I feel like I would get, startled, and I'd be like, "Whoa, like get out of there, you!" And I don't know. I feel like I'm a little bit more easygoing as far as like that kind of situations go, or at least I hope I am. But if they're being really
Yeah.
annoying, I don't know.
I don't
Maybe
know
a little
either.
bit.
Like,
Maybe a little bit.
I would say the parents. I mean, I could understand a parent reacting like that because it's their kid. At the same time, they are the a-holes for letting their kids do that, not knowing etiquette, right?
Yeah.
Same time, uh, he probably kind of is. It doesn't sound like he apologized. I get that he snapped.
Mm-hmm.
I can get that he startled and screamed. At the same time, I think he knew that it was a kid that grabbed him. It's not like some dog or some alien, made him yell.
Some pervy
So he
person.
knew it was a kid. I'm sure he knew it was a kid. So I don't know about that. For yelling at a kid, I don't know. I don't think there's any reason to yell at a kid, no matter what. Even if he did, right? Even if he did, I'm sure the parent comes here and say, "Oh, I apologize. I'm sorry. I yelled." But he didn't do that.
So
At least to what it says.
so here's something that I was like noticing. So he says, "Get away from the table." Kid runs away crying, and then the
Yeah.
person comes over and starts tearing into him about how cranky and mean he is. So it doesn't even seem like the parent even gave him the benefit of the doubt. The parent just saw his kid crying and came and started yelling at this person. Where I don't know. I feel like you could also approach it in a friendlier way. Maybe you could say, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My kid ran into your table or was like touching your legs. Why are you yelling at my kid?" Like it's
Yeah.
okay to defend your kids. I'm not saying that you shouldn't.
Right.
But if you also just come and attack them, I don't know. Maybe equally the a-holes.
Yeah, I think, yeah, they're all of them. But I guess I was watching as I was editing the shorts of the other ones. Like I realized it made me rethink some of the answers I had before.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm starting to think of this as, should you be doing something like this? Are you a jerk, essentially?
Okay.
Yelling at a kid, I don't think that, no matter what. If I was in a situation, I would not yell at a kid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think I would yell at the kid. I think at first I would probably just be like, "Oh, hey, do you want to go to your parents? Like, you want to get out of there?" But I wouldn't be yelling. I would just
Yeah.
kind of like nudge him off. If the kid came back and started bothering us again, then I would be like, I would step it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I don't think I would yell.
Yeah.
I think yelling would be like a very last minute or last resort kind of thing. And it would have to be like, I don't know. I can't even imagine a situation in which I would just yell at a kid for suppressing me under the table. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, if you read the title, "Am I an a-hole for yelling at my kid?" Yelling at a kid for crawling under my table at a restaurant, minus the context. Yes.
yeah, I'm leaning towards yes. I think
Yeah.
he is a bit of an a-hole for sure.
That doesn't excuse the parents. Which want to say it doesn't excuse the parents, doesn't excuse them letting their kids run amok. If this article was, or if this blog says, "Am I the a-hole for letting my kids run around and touch a guy under the table?" Yes, you would be also an a-hole.
Definitely look out for your kids. Know where they are.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Should we read comments on this one?
Yeah, let's go ahead and read some comments.
Seems like a very very NTA. NT, as the parent of a small kid between 4 and 8, I say you're responsible for your kid's behavior in a public place. True. If you're going to a restaurant, then bring a tablet or crayons or whatever to keep your kids occupied. You don't let them become a problem for other customers or for the staff. The mom was way out of line. It doesn't answer the original question, though. He's talking about the parents. This is not about yelling at the kid.
Yeah. See, this is kind of going back to that first thought I had. I'm like, well, first the other parent should be responsible. Sure, I agree, but that also doesn't excuse the guy from yelling at the kid. I feel like these are completely opposite scenarios. Not scenarios. Topics.
Because that, I mean, let's say he kicked the kid. Does that change context?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's physical. This is more emotional in terms of like yelling. I can maybe mentally have as much damage as kicking physically. But yeah, and I mean, all the people that went up to him, yeah, they're pretty much a-holes. So I don't know.
Here's another one just right below that one. It says, not the a-hole. I hate when people don't know the difference between a playground and pizzeria. My kid at age 4 actually told off a kid at the same age for running around daft. That kid went to his mom with shocked face. I'm assuming he meant shocked. Shocked face and told his mom, "Mom, you didn't tell me I couldn't play here. Why didn't you know?" And I never seen a mom clear out faster than that.
Wow, I want to. Can you see the controversial comments? It's not even letting me do that.
No, last
You have
time
to like sign in now, right?
last time I couldn't switch them by those things online. I had to be on my phone for it.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Man,
there we go.
I don't know.
Controversial. I found them. Yeah, a lot of people are like praising this guy. More like the hero. Welcome to 2023 parenting. It doesn't exist. No, you're a hero. NTA, enough said. Seems like a lot of people would have had a little bit less patience than this guy did.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
To be clear, I would not let my kids do that. I
Like
would
run
be
around,
so
right?
mad at them, right?
Yeah.
That's not proper etiquette to have them run around, right? But that's a separate
agreed.
issue. This is, it's you can might as well say, is it okay to yell at a child? What is that? How does that go?
I don't have any kids, so I feel like my comments are a little null in this. But
Still matters.
I guess I'm gonna say a little bit the a-hole for yelling at the kid. I think the other parents are bigger a-holes for letting the kids running around. Yep. That's where I draw my line.
Whew.
It's pretty good.
Good one. All right.
Okay. Well, let's go into the next one.
Some spicy ones here.
Here we go. Look, am I the a-hole for asking my roommates to remove their dildos from the bathroom mirror in a way that was not kind?
Wait, what?
What did the dildos do in the mirror? Okay, let's see. Last night, one of my 23 female roommates, 23 male and 28 female, washed their dildos in the bathroom sink and suctioned them onto the mirror to dry. Okay. I used the bathroom shortly after, and when I came out, I knocked on their door and they said, "Who is it?" And I said, "Get your dildos off the bathroom mirror," and walked away. I went to bed later that night. The following morning, both dildos were still stuck to the mirror when I walked in. And again, I told them to get their dildos out of the bathroom. They told me I need to ask them kindly instead of demanding. And I said that I shouldn't have to ask at all. We got into an argument about it. I'm worried that I may be the a-hole because I definitely didn't kindly ask, but it's not like I was mean or unkind either. As I stated above, I feel like I shouldn't have to ask at all for my roommates to not leave their dildos in the common area. And the insistence that I ask them kindly feels like them trying to derail from my request for dildos to not be left in the common area.
Yeesh.
Well, first of all, that's gross.
Yeah.
Common area, bathroom, and you're putting them in the mirror. That in itself already is like not okay. Roommate etiquette is a thing. I've had plenty of roommates in my life, and this would not fly with me either. So if I had roommates that had dildos in a common bathroom, I would also be knocking at their door, saying, "Yo,
gross.
Take those out. Like, dry them somewhere else."
It seems like they did it after you asked the first time. The fact that they were still there the following morning, they did it on purpose.
Yeah.
Because he didn't ask kindly, but demanded. I knocked on the door and they said, "Who is it?" I said, "Okay, all right." Oh man.
I'm okay. The way I am like reading this, it seems like she is the one in charge. Like, you know how like every roommate house or house with roommates has like one like leader.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. Is that just me? Is that just
no?
I
know what you mean. Yeah.
If this person is like the one on the lease or like the owner of the place and the other people are like renting, yeah, she has every right to ask that. Was it unkind? Maybe. I don't think it was rude. I mean, you go into a bathroom and you see dildos stuck to the mirror.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't.
Yep.
I would not be like, "Hey, can you please pick up after your toys?"
Your toys.
Like, no, I would be like, "Yo, man, like, get these off of it. Like, get them out of here."
Yeah.
Like, it's a common area. If it was a private bathroom, sure, go for it. I don't care. But it's a common area.
How do you even know they wash it too? What if they just use water and then they stick it on the window on the mirror?
Just to be funny? Yeah, like you don't know that. I'm gonna say she is not the a-hole here. I think she had every right to be mad about that, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, there's similarities to this with the restaurant one. The commonality here is that dildos should not be in the common area, right? As much as children should not be running in a restaurant. But how they both went about it is different. One asking, maybe demanding. We don't know the context. Maybe she yelled too, but we don't know. Maybe she kindly asked, and that would make her an a-hole to me.
Well, she says, "I feel like I shouldn't have to ask at all for my roommates to not leave their dildos in a common area."
It's like saying I shouldn't have to ask parents to not have their kids run around in a restaurant, right?
Ooh, yeah.
So it's that, but aside from all that, it's the way they approached it. That's why I don't think she's an a-hole. Because based on what we're reading, she asked or demanded. I don't know.
Well, but you're roommates, so you know each other. Like
Yeah, that too. That's a different aspect to it.
To a roommate, yeah, I would talk to them like that. I would I don't know, like I guess it all kind of depends on how new they're. Maybe again, we need more information. Like, how long have they been roommates? Are they friends? Are these male and female roommates like are they boyfriend or girlfriend, or are they just friends? Or like, we don't know this. Based on just this information and the way I view roommates and common area and dildos on mirrors, I would say she's not the a-hole for asking that. So
yeah.
Okay, I'm just looking at the first comment here, the top comment. It says
dad jokes up in here.
Is this can we say this word? We can say this, right?
No, that one's a bad one.
Okay. Here,
TV can't even say it.
Who can't?
TV. FCC. Actually,
really?
No, I think you can.
Yeah, I think you can.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
All right. Well, we're being careful. We don't want to get demonetized before we're even monetized. So I'm gonna put it right here. It says leaving dildos in the mirror is a pee-pee move.
That's great. That is great.
Oh my gosh, these responses are amazing. Here's a concise comment. Not the a-hole. I'm a very open person when it comes to this stuff, but I would not dream of leaving my toys out in a public common area, even when I lived alone, just in case someone stopped over. Laughing emoji. And if you're feeling petty, next time put on some rubber gloves and suction them to their window from outside. If you can reach it, or their car windshield, they'll get the message.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. That's gonna start a war.
Yeah.
That
Well, that
would-
and
yeah.
that is right. If you're feeling petty, you should do that, and I agree. If you're feeling petty, definitely
Oh,
do
you know
that.
what? There's another subreddit. I think it's called Petty. Something
Oh,
about pettiness.
do we need to visit this one?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Okay. Do you have any more comments on this?
Uh,
Shall we move
yeah.
on to the next one?
Seems like everyone's the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seems like everybody's
number
in
3.
agreement.
Yeah. Am I the a-hole for refusing to eat a smash cake? Yesterday was my nephew's first birthday, and my sister and brother-in-law had a little get-together at their house. When it was time for cake, they brought out my nephew's smash cake, exactly what it sounds, a cake for the baby to smash up and get icing all over themselves for cute pictures or whatever. I kind of imagined that it would be the size of a big cupcake, but they brought out a regular-sized round birthday cake. I just kind of figured they splurged and still expected the cake to just be for him to play around with. But after my nephew had gone at this cake with his bare hands and stuck his whole face in it, my sister started scooping up the mangled remains and distributing servings to everyone, just a handful of family members. And everyone was actually eating it. I declined because, seriously, I didn't want to eat something that has had a baby's grubby and dirty hands and body all over it, and I was surprised that anyone else did. My sister insisted I take a portion. I said, really? No, that's gross. Now, I probably wouldn't have used the word gross if I wasn't on the spot, but I was not at all prepared to politely decline to eat baby spit. My sister was very hurt by that and told me later on a phone call that I thought was way longer than it needed to be for the severity of the infraction, that she thought I was being extremely judgmental, that it wasn't a big deal. We're all family. Don't participate if I really don't want to, but don't call her gross, etc. There's a lot to unpack on this one.
Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah. Oh, me personally? No,
Yeah,
we had one
yeah.
for my son. He had a smash cake, but
Did
everyone
you?
else had cupcakes.
So you had it separate,
Yeah, separate.
huh? Did you?
I
Did
thought
you
that's what
ever?
you're supposed to do.
Were you? Oh, so you've never had a cake where you like really smash your face into it, or you get your face smashed into it and then you eat.
Yeah.
So, this is pretty, as far as I know, this is pretty common thing to do in Mexico. And
okay.
but if I remember correctly, the cakes are pretty big, and if you get your whole head smashed into it, you cut around it, and then the clean pieces are the ones that get,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, the rest of it gets either thrown away or the birthday person can eat it. As I grew older, it became more of a just get the little corner, and it was like very known that you shouldn't like smash the whole cake.
The middle of it.
Yeah, you just go through
Yeah.
like a
Yeah.
small. Sometimes it would be just like the chin, right? Like it wouldn't be like
Yeah.
a whole
Okay.
like
Okay.
face smash.
Right.
So I've been there, but also, one, if I am the birthday boy and I get my face smashed into a cake, I would not want anybody to eat the cake or any part of it where I was in. Like if there's some like completely untouched corners, sure.
Yeah.
At the same time, if somebody wanted to or didn't care about partaking of a piece of cake that had my face in it, It's up to them. I don't care. If they want to eat it, go for it. But also, if they don't
Right.
want to eat it because it's gross, I agree. It is
Yeah.
gross.
No. No.
And I
Yeah.
don't know why you would want to um, eat that. So, uh, I don't think he's an a-hole for refusing to eat the smash cake. Um, maybe a little bit for saying
Yeah.
that's gross. Uh,
I mean, she didn't say the kid was gross. She said it was
the eating the
gross. The
cake was gross.
cake was gross.
And I
Yeah.
agree, it is gross. Like
Yeah.
germs,
I don't
man.
even like my son spit on me.
I don't like
He
baby.
plays this game now where he sticks his finger in his mouth and he tries to touch me with his saliva finger. I'm like, ah.
That's one thing that I admire of the people that can deal with that and they don't care. You know,
Yeah.
where they have babies and they have spit all over them and saliva, and they don't. It's like fine. I can't. Even with my own family, like my niece and nephews when they were babies, I
Yeah.
still. I don't know. I don't know. Okay,
No,
maybe
I
maybe I'm
agree.
weird, but
I have a saliva thing. I don't like sharing saliva. Even when my wife and I were dating, I wouldn't want to share the same straw or bottle. Even though we made out and kissed, but I
well,
don't know,
see,
it's just the idea.
that's funny because I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
But
Mine's a little extreme.
mine is just with kids.
And their fingers are not clean.
Yeah.
To be real, they're not clean. They don't like washing their hands. So what makes you and then they like to touch everything. Toys, seats crawling around, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where people track their feet and all that stuff.
I mean, this is a 1-year-old, so yeah, they probably were crawling around, probably not very clean. I mean, unless the people are like the parents are like very clean people, but yeah, I'm gonna
I don't
say
know, man.
I'm gonna go with he's not an a-hole for not even for saying that it's gross because I
Yeah.
agree, and I would probably say it out loud too.
I think okay. Devil's advocate time.
Okay.
I think okay. So it looks like it's not about not eating the cake. It's more about saying how she reacted. Because if you could imagine you're a person that's eating this cake and then all of a sudden you hear someone say, "Ew, gross. I don't want to eat that." Like it's as a host, you'd be like, "Oh, don't say that because everyone else is eating it and now you're saying this out loud." It's a weird host thing to do in terms of you have everyone eating the cake and then this person says, "Oh, I just saw them pick their nose or they pick their butt and they touch the cake." Like, how would all the guests eating the cake feel?
I mean, uh,
It's still gross,
I mean, yeah, yeah.
right?
No, it's gross.
So
Yeah.
maybe she should have just said, "You know what? No thanks." But then she insisted you just say no thanks instead of saying, "Oh, gross," all that stuff. Not because of the word gross or that it isn't gross, because it is gross, but the way she went about it. Is she the a-hole for the way she went about it?
I still don't think so.
No? Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
still don't think so. I think that's just more. It's a very extreme, because now you're generalizing it into like, well, if this had happened, or if this was this, or if the way this happened was that. Like, now we're going into all these hypotheticals.
Hypotheticals, yeah.
But as of this specific situation where like the sister is insisting like, hey, you should have this, and this person says no because that's gross. I have a hard time um thinking that he said this loud enough for the whole family to hear. The fact that they got on a phone call later that lasted a long time tells
Yeah,
me
that
that
was way too long.
this was handled more in private.
Yeah.
So I don't think that I don't
Yeah, I
think
don't think she is. Because, I mean, you could say it grossly. Maybe she said it jokingly. And I'm
is this
sure
a is
people
this
would
a
understand.
is this a girl?
I don't know. My sister and my brother-in-law. Yeah, never says.
Okay. All
Let's
right, I
see.
was just curious if I missed that, but let's what do the comments say?
NTA. Disgusting. That was gross. Says, I thought a smash cake was literally that. A cake for the baby to smash. Everyone else eats a sheet cake or whatever. Yeah, that's gross. I'm surprised why everyone else ate it. I wonder if they were forced to eat it.
Maybe they felt
they
awkward to
they
say
didn't
no.
want it. Yeah, yeah. They thought it was gross, but they're like, oh yeah, I'll take the cake.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I'd be too grossed
Yeah,
out.
that's a quick way to get COVID.
Yeah, that's a quick way to get everybody sick at some.
Yeah.
Um,
Talk about goodie bag, right? Party favors.
here's this question, not question, comment. NTA, that's disgusting. Next time she's over for dinner. Wait, did you read this one?
I just said that's
Okay.
disgusting.
Oh, next time she's over for dinner, serve her cake for dessert, but desecrate it first, and then be upset when she doesn't want to eat it. Or maybe just scoop their pasta with your hands.
Ooh, ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's
That's a
just like
good one.
that's funny.
Yeah, look at this. Why do people think they can force someone to compromise their health to be polite? It is gross. It's gross and unsanitary. And then below it says, see pandemic.
Pandemic.
Yep.
Agreed.
All right.
I think we're all in agreement here. Okay, let's go to the next one.
Pastry, another pastry related one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Here's the next one. Am I the a-hole for charging someone more than usual for cupcakes and saying I'm not running a charity? Throwaway
Okay.
account. Okay. I, 26, have a small business baking cakes and cupcakes. It's not my primary job. My customers are mostly family and friends, but it's something I'm good at and enjoy doing. It depends on the size, but since I can't do commercial quantities, my time frame to place orders is at least 2 weeks in advance. So a couple of weeks ago, a mutual friend, Liv, 29, reached out asking if I could make some cupcakes for her daughter's third birthday. She gave me an outline of what she wanted, and it's something I can do, so I said sure. Difference is she wanted them in a week. Liv said that there's a lot going on for her right now, and she decided to give her daughter a surprise and doesn't have time to make cupcakes too. So the late order. I had spare time that week, so I said I could make them. The cost I gave her was more than what I'd normally charge, but Liv started saying how it's too much and if I could bring it down. I said no because this is a late order. She made some excuse about how she understands that and she's happy to pay more, but not this much. Liv kept insisting, so I got kind of annoyed and told her I'm not running a charity and she can afford it. If she can't, she doesn't have to order from me. Oh, jeez. Liv gave a pretty snarky reply to that, got pissed. Didn't end up placing an order. I then saw from a friend's Insta she made some posts on her stories, which I'll admit irked me. I do have a couple telling me that I was way upcharging and was rude to her in my replies. I don't think I was, so am I the a-hole? Edit, my prices are in Canadian, not US dollars.
Yeah, but she doesn't even give us a price, so there's nothing to compare it to. What's the point of pointing out it's in Canadian versus US if there's nothing?
Yeah, we don't even know.
There's no number.
I think it's. I mean, I don't think it's unusual for somebody to charge more for a quicker job, right?
Yeah.
And most people, I feel, are happy to say, I'll pay you more if you get mine done first, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Liv here says that she's happy to pay more, but not that much. So it kind of makes me wonder, how much more are we talking about? Like, are we going from like $20 to $50? Or is it $20 to $30? Like, I think that kind of matters a lot in this situation because we don't know, we don't have anything to base it off of.
Yeah.
I will say though, the comment of saying I'm not running a charity, that is kind of a rude thing to say. I think it's kind of mean. I'm not, maybe not rude, but it is mean. I don't know if there's a difference there. I don't know.
There's a lot of missing information. She says, I saw a friend Insta, she made some posts, yada yada yada, and I was upcharging and rude to her in my replies. Is she talking about the charity thing, or is she talking about the replies to the posts on her story?
It's probably on the story because she's saying that she saw those and then it irked her.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that she replied to those things and she was rude about it, especially if she says that a couple of people were telling me that that she was upcharging and was being rude in the replies, then I'm guessing that she is being kind of an a-hole in this whole situation.
I don't know. If you don't got the money, don't pay. Go somewhere else. Take your business elsewhere.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if you don't want to pay that much, then yeah, go somewhere else. But
more than usual.
Seems like she did though. So
I don't think she's an a-hole. I don't think so. Late order first, right? And she does this as her small business, not primary job, right? So she has a full-time job. So it's more of a hobby, essentially.
Okay.
That she makes money. And then someone tells her to like put all her priorities maybe over her primary job to do this job, risk having poor performance at her primary job, and oh yeah. I don't know.
I'm gonna go with no a-holes. I don't think that the person Liv that's ordering the cupcakes. Yeah, she was late, but being late, I like requesting something last minute. That's not an a-hole thing to do. I generally don't think, especially not in this situation. Yep. She said that she's willing to pay more, but not this much. So this is obviously out of her budget.
Yeah.
But then this person, as the owner of this baking company, it's your company. You have the right to do your own pricing, and if you have your pricing for like, late orders, then that's what it is. I mean, it is up to you whether or not you want to help someone out. So for the fact of saying, no, I'm not going to charge less, this is what I charge for a late order, I don't think she's an a-hole. For her to say, I'm not running a charity and maybe being mean in comments, then I would say maybe she's being a little bit of an a-hole. Because literally...
Is that really a mean comment, though? I'm not running a charity. I guess that saying is intended as a snarky, insulting reply, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in this context, I think she is being kind of an a-hole with that comment.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that, so the person, Liv, decides, okay, well, I'm not going to be able to pay this much. She decides to go with someone else, makes a post about it, rubs this person the wrong way, and then starts commenting, replying, and they're mean replies. So much that people are telling her that she's being mean. I think that kind of, and she even like admits it here. She's like, I have a couple of people telling me that I was rude. And so I'm like, okay, so then maybe you are being kind of an a-hole. Like you could have just let it go, like.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of mean. Well, not mean, but the friend having to post on her stories. That's kind of like talking behind someone's back, essentially.
Oh, you mean
it's not bad
for the person,
for the friend, yeah, for Liv. That's pretty much saying, oh, yo. I mean, we don't know what she posted. Maybe she said, oh, this person couldn't make my cupcakes because she priced me double. It's kind of unfortunate. Or she said, oh, this is so scammy. She's, charging me double.
I guess that matters too. Kind of depends on what she's saying. So,
yeah. Dang, not enough information. Okay, let's see. Comments. Yes, the a-hole. Based on your comment clarifying that you doubled the price. That's much different than charging charging more because it's a late order. If you had time, why would the price be double? And she can afford it is a terrible and rude reason. Not to mention reminding her you aren't running a charity would have made a lot more sense if she was asking for free or discounted cupcakes. But no one asked for that. If you didn't want to make the cupcakes, just say that. That is a good point.
Okay. She says that based on a comment, she did double her price.
I don't remember seeing the double on
dude,
there. Did she say she doubled?
I think she edited that out. Okay, so here's a comment down here that says her price is $45 Canadian, and her end price was actually like 60. It's still this amount for cupcakes. Wait, no, hold on, that's not it.
I still think OP should be allowed to upcharge however much she wishes. That is not what makes her an a-hole. Everything else does. Okay.
I am trying to find the pricing here because I think that matters, and the fact that this first comment talks about pricing being doubled. I would say that it's a pretty hefty price adjustment for just a week. So maybe she is more of an a-hole than we think.
Ooh, more details.
Where?
You see that comment, the one in bold? So from one comment, I think it's the second comment down, the response to the first comment.
Okay.
OP says that Liv actually didn't write anything at all about OP's business on social media. Liv made her daughter a beautiful birthday cake herself and posted a picture of that on her stories. This is normal. OP for some reason thinks this is a dig against her and Liv trying to show off. That's really dumb, OP. Okay, so now we have that context. Liv didn't even actually post anything at all. So that's not even... Liv is like not in the wrong at all here. Secondly, from another comment OP made, she said she quoted this price to Liv because she knows Liv is in a financially well-off position and could afford it if she wanted. OP, you don't have the right to judge if other people are financially well-off or not. Very true. You're more than allowed to charge whatever the heck you want, so I'm not considering this a full AH point against you. But I am wondering if it was any other customer, would you have had lowered the upcharge? OP also mentions Liv struggling without her husband for the past year. Oh, shoot. I assume he died or they broke up, but clarifies the struggle is not financial. Ouch. Okay. That is changing things here.
Yeah, it does change a lot of things. I like the way it ends. You the a-hole not because of the money you charge, but because of your terrible attitude towards this whole thing and towards Liv. Yeah, I would say so.
Because the intent is different now.
Yeah.
The intent seems vulture like.
It's like
right?
you're purposely trying
to take advantage. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Well, that changed my mind. Thank you. Comments.
All right. Do we have time for one more, or should we end it right here? Because we're at an hour.
Oh shoot, you're right. I think we can end it here. Then we don't have to do the long one. It's great. And I'm pretty sure this is a given. My day of telling my best friend his girlfriend is disgusting. Yeah, that's going off of that. That's pretty bad. I don't think there's any point you should tell someone they're disgusting, especially a daughter who's jealous of their brother who has cancer.
Oh,
that was last week.
Yeah, from last week. Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, I'm glad you joined us this week for this episode of Nerd Cassette podcast. I'm hoping you enjoyed that one. If you have any comments or questions or what your thoughts are on these, let us know in the comments. While you're there, like and subscribe, share it. And remember the code NERD20 for a painted playlist. Yeah. Anything else?
No. Thank you so much for joining us. These were some really interesting ones. So hope you guys are enjoying it, and we'll see you all next week.
Peace out.
Peace.